Welcome to the American Academy of Grief Counseling's video on reframing meaning in counseling. And this is our fifth video in our series of counseling to help individuals understand how to better counsel and guide others through a series of skill sets that are essential to help individuals transform and change. And reframing is one of the most important skills because the importance of meaning in existence is so critical to the drive within humanity. Purpose and meaning itself guide existence. So when it's lacking or when it's sidetracked by trauma or loss, one can lose the will to exist or push forward. And we see that with many depressed clients. They lose that will when something horrible happens. They lose meaning in their life. So in counseling, various techniques are utilized to help individuals find meaning in trauma, loss, and bad things that occur in life. Of course, we've discussed in other videos and blogs to exhaustion almost, CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. And it's one of the most common therapies to help reshape or reframe negative schemas. And reframing is one of the micro skills used by counselors to help create new positive schemas. And of course, David Neymeyer in Meaning Reconstruction emphasizes the importance of trying to tie meaning and the current loss to the overall story of the individual's past, present, and future itself. So how a counselor is able to help one reframe is based on many of the previous videos that we discussed, especially in regards to attending the client, observing the client, and being able to respond and give good feedback to the client. Now, logotherapy is a very important type of therapy that emphasizes meaning, and it's based off Viktor Frankl, the famous Holocaust survivor who wrote the famous book, Man's Search for Meaning. And as a Holocaust survivor, he was surrounded by despair and depression while he was in the Nazi concentration camps. And he had to help individuals find meaning in these dark periods. Now, Viktor Frankl is but just one example of a person who endured extreme trauma, but there are also other individuals who have dealt with in their life horrible things that have occurred within their life, and they had to find meaning in that life to move forward. So Viktor Frankl listed a few important things within logotherapy that he considered critical to meaning itself. First, he discussed how human beings are comprised of mind, body, and soul, and that in that totality, everyone pushes towards meaning. Each human individual is unique in that push for meaning, and life has meaning not only during the good, but the bad times as well. And I think that's important to emphasize because we tend to sometimes think if something bad occurs, then life is no longer what it is supposed to be. But life is a series of good and bad, valleys and mountains, valleys and rises, and so forth. So as we go up in life and down in life, there's still meaning within these mountains and valleys, so to speak. So if we understand that, then we also have a will, according to Frankl, to push forward with that meaning. Every human being is equipped with a will to push forward. It's just as a matter of how much is that will stamped out. And of course, counselors are there to help strengthen that will, to push that will to more resiliency itself. So that type of will then pushes towards a meaning that is more than just a statement, but is a concrete reality that finds its placement within one's values and various beliefs. And no matter what, that will has the freedom to access meaning even in the most dire of situations, such as Frankl being in the concentration camp, a very dire situation. But no matter how much physical freedom was taken away from Frankl, Frankl still had the freedom internally to find meaning despite his captors and what they tried to do to him. So, like Nehmeyer, Frankl sees ideas and meanings as something that's important. It's something that is an anchor that ties us together, ties one's life together, the past, the present, and the future, the good and the bad. It's the complete story, and it's the book with all the chapters, even some of the chapters we might wish to forget in life. But all of them have intrinsic meaning to our life itself. So, how can we, as counselors, help clients find meaning? And it's through reflecting and reframing. So it's very critical to remember that initially it's important to allow raw emotion to exist, even emotion that seems desolate and is void of direction towards meaning. It does not need to be reinterpreted at that moment when it is being relayed to the counselor. So it's important to reflect upon that emotion, to give basic attending skills to the client. It's important to understand it, restate it, discuss it before it has an ability to transform and be reframed itself. Some skills in reframing include linking. Linking ties together different events throughout life to discover new insights. So you can use one's personal experience or something that occurred in someone else's past as a way to link this particular situation to that and to share the various outcomes that came with it to help the person foster new insight. Decisional therapy is also is a very good way to help individuals move forward in finding meaning. It helps individuals understand outcomes and the various choices they have to make in relationship to a particular thing. Multicultural therapy. Multicultural therapy helps clients link to their ethnicity in a shared trauma to find strength and pride in that particular loss to move forward stronger. You're always stronger together. Also, one can disclose as a counselor. You can disclose a particular event to help individuals share with what you do. Now, you want to be careful when you disclose your own events, not to take away from the client. So it all depends on the relationship, but disclosure is a way to help through your interpretation of your particular life, how maybe you as the counselor handled a particular thing and how you yourself found meaning itself. Now, there's also an issue of feedback. How well do we help individuals with their discussion of their loss? Are we confirming what's being said, or are we correcting what's being said? Because sometimes the statement being made about the emotion could be totally incorrect. It could be also harmful to the client. So we have to use a lot of empathy in helping to correct and sometimes reframe. And we discuss about challenging and using empathetic confrontation in previous videos. So after we emphasize the importance of reframing, we need to, as counselors, to help foster resilience to maintain these new meanings, these new restructuring. So in previous videos, we also talked about cultivating change and how essential change is to help transform an individual. So it's essential then to help individuals maintain this new meaning that they are able to move forward. So in Egan's text, there are 7 therapeutic lifestyle changes. Excuse me, not Egan, but Ivy. And Ivy includes within that exercise, nutrition, sleep, social relationships, cognitive challenges, meditation, and cultural health. And those are his 7 therapeutic lifestyle changes that a counselor should monitor. He also includes the importance of prayer, hobbies, positive thinking, social outreach, and avoidance of various negative substances. So counselors need to help clients identify resources for resiliency within their own family, friends, or other social support systems. A counselor should help a client also find ways to make better connections with family and friends. And in this way, in these many things that we just listed, a client is more likely to embrace the change, to remain resilient in maintaining that change and embracing that particular new meaning that has taken place. So we are the American Academy of Grief Counseling. We're also AIHCP, and we offer a couple certifications here: grief counseling in the link below, Christian counseling as well for the link below. And this type of discussion is critical for both of those types of counseling. We also offer stress management, anger management, crisis intervention, to name a few. Our phone number is 330-652-7776, and our email is info@aihcp.org. And below are references to those two texts for Egan and Ivy. I'd like to thank you for listening and have a good day.